Hello everyone and welcome back to Valpo Esports. Today we have some Academy Overwatch coming in. We have Academy Overwatch versus let me see, I believe it was Concordia Chicago Varsity. So have a little bit of Academy versus Varsity here. Academy currently is 1-1 in the NECC conference with Concordia being 0-1. So a little bit of interesting game here.
Yeah, really excited for this game. The Academy Overwatch has been playing super well, coming off a very strong win last week. So really excited to watch them play today. Yeah, Concordia Varsity I think is going to be a challenge, but I think we're ready for the test.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. We do have our map pick already. So Valpo Academy has picked Nepal here. So we're getting into the game, getting ready to go here, and gonna be an exciting game. I mean, as we said, it is varsity versus our academy. So a gonna be a challenge. I'm excited for it. Let's see what we got going on here. Which side are we on?
Like we're on the blue side.
Yeah, we are on the blue side, which is great for us.
So tell me a little bit about this map. Like what is kind of
Absolutely.
the specific spots we're looking for to fight at, take control over, things like that.
Absolutely. So, with this map, the point is obviously right here in the middle, but some common spots to see are teams coming out of this high ground and out this door and out this side. So gonna have a little bit of a multi-angle approach here, but a lot of the fighting is going to be happening on this point, trying to control these doorways, trying to control this stairway. The main spots you're gonna see a lot of conflict from these teams are gonna be here and here shooting down. But as we get ready to go, let's look at the compositions Valpo has got here. We've got a Lucio Juno, gonna be moving very quick with the support comp here with Queen as well. Going to be a lot of very fast pressure. Going to want to take these fights quick and fast, but looking at the enemy team's comp here, going to be pretty difficult to do. Coming in with the Queen, did already get a pick, and the Mercy is extremely low health, looking for the kill, finds it here. Let's see, trying, now that we are up, are we going to get some speed coming in? Yep, here it comes. Queen with the nice axe, and the Lucio coming in, boop the Sojourn back in, coming for the kills here. That's what this comp's going to be wanting to do. It's going to be want to take these fights quickly and take them as soon as possible. Looking at the enemy comp here, there's going to be a lot of sustain on this comp. With the Orisa, with the Moira, there's going to be a lot of stationary, a lot of sustain. Going to be able to stay in one spot a lot. And this team comp that Valpo is running is going to want to just take fights fast. We have Raymond up here doing a little bit of poke on the high ground, getting caught out, has to Wraith out here. Dangerous here. And L finds a kill on the Sojourn and the Mercy. That's a big pick with the kills coming in. See Lucio coming in here with all this running down pressure. Like we said, this comp is going to be wanting to take these fights fast, and they're going to want to take picks early. So these early picks coming out is going to be huge here.
Valpo looking really strong, looking good on the ult economy already too. NH cool stuff with that Lucio ultimate up. Kind of talk a little bit about that tank matchup, the Junker Queen into the Orisa, how that works out. I've heard a lot of things in practice, like the counter watch, specifically in the tank role as well.
Yep, absolutely. So again, as I've said before, this Queen comp, Queen wants to go fast. It wants to hurry. It wants to take fights quickly. Orisa coming in with the Queen ult, but Orisa's going to want to not let these ults happen because, again, this fight with double speed support and Queen, Junker Queen is going to win out against the Orisa with the fast fights, with the fights that go quick, with the fast engagements. That's why you want to see this Lucio and this Juno synchronizing their amp and ring cooldown. But Orisa is going to be able to win the sustain game. So it was really well played here from Valpo to keep these fights going quickly. Because if they try to take a sustained fight and let them settle, they're going to have more sustain than we did.
Yeah, Valpo looking really good there. Team kill to finish it out, and they're going to get 100% to 0. Looking clean really far so far. Really just got to keep it up. So switching into this next map, we are going to see Zacher potentially make the switch here on his tank.
Interesting. I don't actually mind that comp, especially looking over. Of course, they don't know this yet, but looking over to see a Junkrat on Concordia's team, that is going to help our Zarya a lot, but looks like we are swapping to the Orisa. We want that little bit more sustain. I don't mind that pick on this map, on this part of the map, because a lot of this fights are going to be happening here and here and then around this doorway for each team. So that little bit of sustain with the Orisa being able to stand her ground a little bit more, I do like that. We see a Bastion coming out for the enemy team here, Concordia, which is going to be pretty difficult. Bastion notoriously annoying to deal with as the tank player, so we're going to see how Zacher is going to play around this. Although Valpo did get the point control first with help of that Lucio Juno here. So Raymond does take a rock, seeing what can get done with that. In comes the Lucio here, looking for a boop, finds the Bastion in conjunction with the Orisa spear, finds some great kills there.
I just saw everyone flying off off of the map there. But Valpo with a great start, getting the first point take. Another interesting thing about this comp that I didn't mention in the first map is I typically see L on the Reaper, not on the Mei. So Ramon being the holder of the Reaper in this game. But I mean, they've been playing pretty phenomenal so far.
Yep, absolutely. I like this pressure that is coming on here. A little bit of split lane pressure. Reaper's pretty good at that, but now you have no Wraith form. You're going to have to be careful getting a help from his team to get out. And nice boop from NH Cool Stuff. Gets another boop kill. Able to get a lot of mileage off of this Lucio here.
I mean, it looks like NH Cool Stuff and this Lucio is just built for this map. I've never seen so many boops like in succession.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not all that common to see this many boop kills, so being able to set up for that so well is quite impressive here. But we see Concordia coming in to take this angle. Gonna see. I want to see a Ray here. Yep, there it is. There it is. And absolutely Valpo being able to come in and clean up. Wow, they burned Sig ult for that. That's incredible. Using our Ray to counteract theirs was a great trade from us. And then the fact that they used Sig ultimate, whether they swapped or not, that is a big win for Valpo's side. However, we did use 3 ultimates for that. And now, with the ult economy not looking in our favor, now it is Lucio solo support, but they were not able to get to the point quick enough. And Valpo JV takes that point pretty solidly. I really, really like that place.
Yeah, it looked really good. And we will see the play of the game. Zacher on the Orisa.
I'm pretty sure this will be the Lucio boop into the spear. Yep, there it is. Sets up perfectly. Incredible awareness to see that boop opportunity and to be ready to follow up, because that Lucio boop by itself was actually not going to get those kills.
Yeah.
So with the awareness there, absolutely love to see that.
Yeah, it looked really good in that game. We will take a second to look at our starting lineup for tonight, though.
Absolutely. We saw them play a little bit. So here are the faces behind the names. We have Zacher for our tank, L and Raymond for our DPS. And then AraJ and NH Cool Stuff for our supports. We've seen them play that match real quick, and that was a really nice match. So nice to put some faces to the names.
Yeah, but anyways, just looked really good that game. This team is really starting to come together. With the addition of Coach Bryce as well is really exciting for the Overwatch team. But yeah, any kind of final thoughts on that game before we head to break?
I really liked to see the synergy between the teams. Because, I mean, we saw the Lucio boop into the spin spear. Of course, we saw that. That was great awareness. But also setting up with the ultimate plays, using our ult economy in conjunction with each other. We saw that we were taking points on both sides of the door, and we all wrapped around so we could use the Ray all at once, be able to take full advantage of it. So I like the setup plays before the plays even happened.
Yeah, I mean, weren't able to take a single percentage away from Valpo. So pretty dominant game one. Hopefully we can continue it, but we will head to a short break and we will be right back.
Hello, hello, and welcome back from the break. We are here on our next map, looking at a King's Row game. We have actually chosen to attack first, which I don't actually mind that decision here from a competitive aspect. I like attacking first personally. I know that it is a little bit of a personal preference here, but I like the choice here. It allows us to for this more aggressive angle here, which is what we've shown that Valpo likes to do with the comp that we saw last map. We have seen that Valpo likes to play aggressive and play fast. So I like
They
the
doing
attack
little
first
boost,
here.
at the beginning. You know what I'm talking about? Or is that with Diva?
I think
Apologies.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a diva here.
I've seen a little trick on Kings Row before, but anyways, like this Reinhardt from the side of Concordia, Chicago, in this first choke point, it seems like the Reinhardt shield is just really tough to push through.
It certainly can be. Ryan is generally considered to be the king of King's Row, but we'll see if the queen here can actually dislodge that little bit of hierarchy here. Coming out with the Juno Lucio, the fast comp that Valpo has shown to be so good with. Looking for a little bit of poke here. Going to have to watch for this Sim Bastion. Going to be very dangerous to break through. That is Bastion's form, though, so if you're going to go, now is the time. As we come in here with the Reaper, trying to get some pressure going. Good flank on the Bastion. Are you able to finish the kill, though? You are. That is good stuff with the Queen. Able to isolate the Rhine with that great Mei wall. And down goes Concordia's defense. It looks like now it is Justice the ports left and just a Mercy. What is a lone Mercy to do here?
Try not to stagger deaths at that point.
Yeah, at that point, that
is
is all you can do there.
Valpo
Right.
able to get that point very quickly, looking really clean so far. Ult economy pretty solid here, as they're building up that percent. I guess it is probably pretty even. And they do make the swap to the Orisa here from the Reinhardt Concordia Chicago does. So
What we're going to be looking for here is to be able to isolate somebody with this Mei wall. Looking for it, not quite able to, almost isolates his own Queen, but does manage to avoid that fate here. With the gates coming in from Concordia, gonna have to play safe. Down goes L, and down goes Zacher. This is looking like a time to back up, and back up Valpo does, taking a little bit more of a defensive approach here. Down some members, gonna have to back up and regroup here. So Concordia getting a little bit of their footing down, which is good for them. We're going to see how Valpo manages to break through. Got a little bit of a speedering here. Mei wall comes in, and in comes the beat. Are we going to see some more pressure here? I like this decision. We're backing up and waiting for the Sim wall to come down. Gonna have to pick a side, stabilize here.
yeah, Valpo does have 4 more ults, so seeing what they need to use and what they can hold on to in this team fight.
Absolutely. I like the patience on this. Oh, that is a Bastion paired with a Orisa ult. That is a strong ult combo coming out. And looks like Valpo did invest a Reaper ult of their own. Era J, the sole survivor of that team fight, able to make it out with her life here. Juno ult and the Queen ult. Ready and waiting. They do, in fact, have a Kiri, so gonna have to watch for this Suzu usage here. This Suzu from the Kiri is going to be critical. We see L on the Widow here, looking for an opening pick. Almost finds it, but now has a Sim in his face. Able to find the kill.
Yeah, you typically see Widowmaker in the very beginning of this map on King's Row. But I'm a huge getting a clean headshot.
Yep, absolutely. And as we see a little bit of this pressure, the Lucio Queen running up. Again, this is what Lucio Queen wants to do. They want to go fast.
Yeah, I mean, they're just chasing him down. NH Cool Stuff playing pretty deep. Going to regroup with his team here back to point. I mean, they were playing at that second point for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. So able to take this Streets phase quite solidly, which is good to see. Streets phase is generally considered to be really difficult for the attackers to hold. So glad that we got through this cleanly, didn't get stuck too much. Are going to touch the point here. We see this Reaper coming around back, around behind. A lot of pressure on AirJ here. Ables to make it out with the life though. And L with the nice shot on the Widow. Going to see how we take this pressure here. Backing up a little bit. I don't mind that. Now L is caught out. Down goes L. So you're down 1. Do we continue this pressure? Might have to just back up a little bit, taking a lot of pressure here. Again, this comp is going to lose out in the long fights against this Orisa, Kiri, Bastion. You're definitely not going to want these fights to last long. You want to kill them before they have a chance to stabilize and kill you.
Yeah, definitely got the ult advantage on the side of Concordia Chicago. The Widow ult not really going to do much, just give you walls there. But a lot of ults coming out here. Get the NH Cool Stuff ultimate coming out. Gates coming out.
With the
Goose
Widow play.
Well. This is a mess.
Out comes the Reaper ult. Gonna die to the Bastion ult, but it does look pretty even. Valpo down DPS, comes in with the Queen ult. That's a huge trade coming out for Valpo. Able to win this point. Does actually take their Reaper ult with them, which is a huge trade here.
Yeah, I think the Junker Queen ult there by Zacher finding anti-heal on several members of Concordia was able to finish off that team fight. But man, that was a lot of ults used in that fight. I mean, maybe like 8.
That was a lot of ults used,
overwhelming.
But luckily, we did get the Reaper ult out from Concordia. That's going to be big here, because on third point, Reaper can be really difficult to deal with when he has ult. But we actually see L with the swap to Soldier here. I like that from the Widow. Able to put a little more consistent frontline pressure. Trying to scare off this enemy Reaper from putting too much pressure on. And in we see NH Cool Stuff actually goes down. Going to have to be careful here. You are down a support. While it is your lower heal support, gonna have to be careful nonetheless. Just trying to stabilize here. Not looking too shabby. Gonna have to wrap this corner though. It's gonna be difficult against this comp. The enemy Reaper able to get the pick on L and get out using his Wraith form.
Valpo with 1:30 left to get to this third point. Really want to get that full distance, all 3 points here in this map.
What I want to see is, I think what's best for Valpo here is if Concordia waits to gates until now. Now we have beats to counter out this gates. That beat's gonna be huge. You're gonna have to press in with that. In comes Bastion ult. Gonna have to be very cautious now. The beat has worn off. Gonna have to play safe. That's Bastion ult gone. Careful of the gates here. What are you coming up on? Down goes Zacher before he can get the Queen ult. That's not too bad. Just try not to keep this fight staggered for too long. Just build some ults. Keep this pressure on. Wait until Zacher gets back. You need your tank if you want to take this corner here.
Yeah, they're going to have a good chance to ult dump here. One last good team fight with 35 seconds left on the clock here. Plenty of time. Ramon got ult, Zacher has ult, AeroJ has ult.
Absolutely. I would love to see a Ray and a Queen ult here. Gonna have to try to bait out Suzu. Yep, and there comes the Orisa ult. That was expected. Visor as well is a little bit of I think an overcommitment here, but as long as we win this fight, but it doesn't actually look like we're going to. AeroJ under a lot of pressure from this Reaper. Able to go and get the Mega here.
Going to be forced to touch point here. NH Cool Stuff flying in there on the Lucio. Going to get the touch in it.
Yep, there comes the Reaper ult. Now, sadly, that did take AeroJ down with it. You now have Lucio for solo heals, and that is not what this comp is built for. Lucio not going to be able to sustain this fight, so this fight is going to have to be played very cautiously. AeroJ on their way back from death as we are coming in. Gonna have to keep someone on point. Lucio able to hold it down for now, but gonna have a lot of pressure. And Beat comes in, able to get the Beat off. That is huge. In comes the Reaper ult. does manage to kill the Kiri. That is huge. Gonna have to deny this res, though. That's gonna be what's scary. Not quite able to deny the res. Did try with the Lucio boop here. Kiri is 1 HP up top. Not able to get away with the kill.
Combo.
Yep, that Bash and Orisa ult combo is deadly. Okay, Orisa goes down. That's huge. Queen gonna have to survive off her own healing for a little bit here. As we see, some people are gonna start coming back here soon. Around comes AirJ, but not before Zacher goes down. And now it's another 4v4 here. 4v5 actually. Gonna be at a little bit of a deficit. Have some ults coming up online. Gonna have to use them. Just AirJ gonna have to be cautious. Using ult to get back faster. I'm not quite sure about the decision, but we're gonna see if it works. Yep, this Ray is going to be big. Gonna have to get a lot of value. And looks like it's gonna be getting it.
Another Bastion ult already is kind of crazy.
Just try to get as much kills before you get frozen.
We'll see another ult dump from both teams here. Looks like Concordia Chicago is going to be on the winning end of this one, though.
All right, but that is still, although we wasn't a full cap, that is still a very good push, almost able to get all the way. So sad that it wasn't quite all the way, but we'll see how Valpo defense can hold this.
Yeah, we're able to get some valuable distance with the incredibly long overtime there. So, I mean, each meter counts, as we saw, I believe it was 2 weeks ago when Varsity won by 0.03 meters.
Yep, 0.03 meters. That was stressful game for sure. Now we'll see how Valpo wants to defend this. So, no, they should note that they have a little bit of wiggle room. But you don't want to play it too safe because, like I mentioned before, Streets phase, the second phase of this map here, is notoriously pretty difficult for defenders to hold. Based off of these corners, it could be pretty difficult if you aren't able to stop them here, to stop them from steamrolling. So looks like Valpo's actually going to make a little bit of a swap here in the comp. I can't say that I dislike this. A little bit of a Sojourn, a little bit more of the ability to poke at longer range. I don't actually mind this.
Yes, we do see L kind of returning to that Reaper like we've seen in the first couple weeks. And Ramon on the Sojourn, I believe it's the first time I've seen it. But going to be interesting. What's kind of the reason why Ramon switches off of the Reaper? Sojourn, when L was picking all those different characters in previous games.
I believe it's probably just based on the individual hero pools that they're more comfortable with here. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. Takes a shot with the Widow. Concordia does, but didn't find a pick and deciding to swap off to the Mei here. Orisa does manage to go down, which is huge for Valpo.
Great target focus there.
Yep, absolutely. And whoo, Zacher down to 60 HP. Able to stabilize. Very, very close to losing that. But down goes the Mei. Does get res though. Playing a little close here. I like the decision to back up, but Zacher not quite able to get out with their lives. Like the ring, able to help her teammates out. Just trying to stabilize here. And you know, DPS, L, and Raymond together have been able to turn it around and actually keep that fight despite Zacher going down. That's a big hold here because this first point is going to be proving to be so important for this map.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I see teams not even be able to capture this first point. Valpo doing a good job so far. Still a lot of time left before we start talking about that. But have the Reaper ult, have the Shojin ult, NH Cool Stuff ult up. So Valpo, NH Cool Stuff will use the ultimate there.
In comes a lot of ults. Down goes Zacher for it. Raymond under a lot of pressure during this OC. But down the AC goes and takes a Helix Rocket to the forehead. Not exactly good for your health here as Valpo's team seems to be falling down. Tries to ring to help her Lucio out, but was able to actually escape with the swap to Zarya. I don't actually hate that swap. Lost the point, but gonna be pretty strong here. Are you going to be able to stop this steamroll? going to have to wait a little bit, wait until your team's back, and here they are. It will take a little bit more of this pressure. I like the swap to Zarya here, gonna have a little bit more self-sustain. Zarya has always been the feast or famine tank here. And in comes the Ray from Valpo. Trading here, that is a pretty decent trade for us if we can make do, looking in case he needs to bubble here. Not able to stop the res. This is now not a great situation for Valpo to be in. Looking to back up a little bit. Just try to stabilize here. In comes the Cole, and down they go. They did have the ult advantage here, so that was going to be a dangerous fight to take. But looking at it, you are coming up on a grav. Coming up on a grav, coming up on a beat. Halfway to Ray, and almost have an OC. So, look, I'm gonna see how they want to counteract this. They're gonna have a visor, which assumedly will be a Mercy pocketed visor, which is going to be quite devastating. So gonna have to play pretty cautious with it.
Yeah, Concordia Chicago on pretty good pace after that cap there. Like you said, the street portion, not a great spot to kind of hold your defense, but hopefully going to have some success here around this corner, and Valpo back on the front foot here. 3 members down so far. Have to back off.
Which is pretty good for us because it allows us to stabilize. Now, if you take a look at the ult economy, because they didn't use the visor here, now we were able to get a beat. So now we have beat in preparation for their visor here. That's going to be the big one. Can we counteract their visor? We're going to have a beat for it, and now we're coming up on a lot of ults for Valpo in general, which is going to be incredibly impactful here. How are we going to counteract this?
Yeah, Valpo pushing up here pretty far.
Yep, in comes the grab, gets 2 kills from it. That is big here.
Big time, and still has 4 ults up as well, and able to wipe their team while holding on to 4 of them.
That's huge for the ult economy. They've had this visor for 3 fights now, given Valpo a chance to catch up in the ult economy. Now Valpo has answers. Now they have ways to deal with this. So I'm expecting to see a visor coming through. I'm expecting a visor and then a blizzard. Yep, there's the blizzard. I think that Ray was a little far forward, but in comes this visor here. Probably gonna have to back up a little bit, but get some trades and big shots coming out from the Sojourn on Raymond. Gonna see if he can finish these kills. They are, with the Mercy res, just staggering their own Kiri here. Big fight for us. We were able to take both of their DPS ults, which they actually swap off the Mei after that, as well as the Orisa. But that was huge for us, able to keep that ult economy in our favor. We were given a chance to catch up, to solidify, and we took it and ran with it. And this is exactly what I want to see.
I mean, that's exactly why ult economy is so important. Like, they were behind in that fight, but they were able to use 3 ultimates there to come back and actually win.
Absolutely. So now on the Ram cast, gonna have a little bit more of long-range pressure. So gonna have to be a little more cautious here. And there we go. Don't need to be cautious when they're all grabbed in a single spot. Coming in, and down goes Concordia again. Valpo, you know, I've said how difficult this streets phase is for the defenders to hold, but Valpo making it look untrue, able to keep this defense incredibly stable here, able to cycle their ultimates. That's what's really winning them this, is the ultimate cycle. Swapping onto another tank, just trying to find an answer is Concordia. The Monkey jumping in with the nice boop from NH Cool Stuff, keeping this Monkey at bay.
Yeah, but tank's down for Concordia, and they're going to have a very difficult time
and no touch. Valpo Academy takes the win again, and that win, I have to say, came down to the ult economy. They were able to keep having answers. Again, we had a visor on Concordia's side that Valpo didn't have an answer to, but because we were able to stabilize just long enough to keep that at bay until Valpo had answers built up, we were able to keep cycling those ults and able to keep that defense up in a spot where it's going to be pretty difficult to do.
Yeah, apologies. Just changing the score here real quick.
Yep, making sure you guys have some accurate information here as we get into this third game. This could be the last game of this set right now.
Yeah, best 5 series, first to 3, and Valpo looking really good, marching and on their way to a 2-1 winning record.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love these faster comps that we're seeing from Valpo. We have a skilled Lucio player and a skilled Juno player that just lends itself to moving quick, and I like that we are able to use that to our advantage here. Going in with these fast comps, Concordia not quite able to find an answer. Again, what Concordia's comps are going to want to be doing is stabilizing, but Valpo not giving them a chance. Keeping that ult rotation up and that speedy engage, able to consistently get a pick to open the fights, are massive for us.
Yeah, it seems like our support kind of have like mastery on those champions, where it's like Juno, the Lucio as well, and then our DPS kind of have some flexibility. And I know Zacher has been working on his flexibility as well.
Hmm.
Just with the current meta, the current state of being a tank player in Overwatch is you can't really OTP.
Yeah,
You just gotta,
you gotta be
you just,
flexible in the tank pick, which we saw a little bit coming out from that on Concordia's side, swapping from the
yeah.
Orisa to the Ram to the Winston, but not quite able to find a solution to the fast-paced comps that Valpo's running.
Yep. But with that being said, we will take a short break and we will be right back with game. And we are back with game 3 of Valpo Academy versus Concordia Chicago Varsity. Do have a substitution in here. We got Happy Squid subbing in for NH Cool Stuff on support. So excited to see how that's going to play out this game. And we are on Push map. Push is my favorite game mode, and most Overwatch players despise Push, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
So
push tends to be a very divisive game mode between Overwatch players. Whether they like it or hate it, it is what we have this round being on. So we actually see a little bit of a substitution. As you mentioned here, we actually see Happy Squid on the Kiri coming out for Valpo. I don't mind this swap. Kiri is pretty much always going to be a solid pick. You are sacrificing a little bit of your speed from the Lucio, of your consistent speed at least. Juno offers a lot of burst speed, but Lucio has that sustain. But I think on push with this, especially with this comp, with the Widow and the Ram, I think this is a good swap here. I don't mind the swap to a Kiri, especially on this fight. This long-range poke from the Kiri is going to be pretty darn nice here.
another thing about Push too is I believe that the momentum is super huge. Like once a team has a lead, it's very hard to overcome it.
Yeah, absolutely. The momentum is very important on push. Once you have that lead that you're talking about, it gets a lot easier to try to snowball that, try to get more distance out of it.
Specifically when you get to that checkpoint with the closer spawn point as well.
Woo! Finds the shot on the Kiri. That's going to be a big opening pick. As we see this Kiri trying to stabilize, not quite able to cancel the res though. So it is back to even with Venture coming out, but gets the pick on the Venture, which is going to be big. Are we going to see, we should be seeing a little bit of an aggressive angle here. Finds the pick on the Mercy this time. Here we see Ramatra, who actually just recently got changed in the patch notes that came out just recently, had a change to his punches. Ramatra Pummel actually no longer goes through shields. It now instead does critical damage to shields. It does, I believe it's 2.5 times damage to shields as opposed to just punching through them. So going to be a little bit of a difference in how Zacher is going to want to play this matchup, especially against the Sig, but looking for an opening pick this fight.
Yeah, L with 2 great picks in that last fight. Just trying to find another one here. We'll have that ult up to help a little bit with the aim.
And in comes the Widowmaker ult. Just giving a little bit of pressure, making people rethink their options trying to pressure here. I like using Widow ult when he did. I like using it right before a fight starts so you can get that information. Come on, can we kill the Sig? But not quite. Sadly, the Juno does go down, leaving solo Kiri. Trades the Reaper, though. Are we going to see a pick?
Today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Widow is basically...
Every time we're on him, though, he tends to miss.
All right, then I'm going to have to stop spectating so we can keep these kills up. You are down support. I would like to see it. Yep, an annihilation here. Even though he's not necessarily pressuring, this is zoning out the Kiriko ultimate. That is good value from that annihilation. It might not have gotten any kills, but it denied their ability to use that gates. Sadly, the Juno goes down again, not able to sustain. Kiri's attention is too split in other places, so they are finding the opportunity. And in comes a Visor. Gonna have to fear this Visor coming in. Kills the Visor, but at what cost here? And in comes the
Big
Reaper ult.
Gonna find 3 there.
So
Warrior Chicago on the front foot here, getting their first little push. Hopefully won't take the lead here, but
they might. It depends on how quickly we can get recontesting. I think we might not get there. I think this Reaper up here is going to delay in time. No, it looks like they are going to get the lead, which is not ideal for Valpo, but we'll see how it goes.
Left, not the end of the world.
Yep. Double support ults coming out. This is Kiri ult and Juno. Triple ult coming out from Valpo. Gonna have to get some kills here. Gonna have to make this worth it. You popped 3 ultimates. You gotta make it worth, and looks like they are. Gotta be careful. Again, you invested a lot into this fight, so going to have to make it worth it. Looks like they are able to get the bot and get control back. But gotta be careful.
Change to Winston here too.
Which
more of a dive tag.
Yep, I do appreciate a swap to Winston. I do like myself a little bit of Winston gameplay, but it's gonna be pretty dangerous here against a Reaper, especially. Can be pretty scary as Winston. A lot of pressure coming in on the backline here. AirJ under a lot of pressure. Able to stabilize, though. That was huge. Able to dispel that pressure here.
So about halfway through this push map, and Valpo down about 9 meters here. Have the Widow coming out here. Plenty of time left for Valpo to get this advantage. Luckily, the bot is right by that push part if they're able to win a team fight.
Able to get a kill on the soldier here with this primal. Not quite able to get another kill with it, but was able to get a lot of pressure with a little bit of a flank here. I like this, disrupting the backline. Might not be getting kills, but what's important is that they are not able to support the rest of their team. So as we come over here to the Widow, that disruption was able to get a decent amount of ground, but yep, I like that Ray. I would have preferred it a little farther back, but you know, the thought is there, but down goes the Juno. This is scary.
That Reaper ult is going to incinerate Juno there. Yeah, 4 minutes left, and Concordia was able to hold on to that lead. When Zachar was deep in their team, they were able to push him off point a little bit, get a couple more meters, but still haven't been able to overtake that lead.
Yep, and sadly, although we did get a trade on the way out, Mercy was able to res that, and Raymond just barely getting out with his life, and Zachar making the swap to D.Va.
I'm a huge D.Va fan.
I'm
a D.Va OTP.
And there we go, a opening pick, and down goes both DPS. Gotta watch for the Mercy res. The Mercy has been getting away with reses a lot this game. Going to have to watch that. And Zachar actually stealing the bot from under them. They're fighting at this corner, but this bot is not here anymore, guys. Like, this is an objective-based game. And stealing the objective is one way to end that fight. All right, now they've caught on to your gimmick here. They've caught on to your shenanigans. Gonna have to back up a little bit. Reaper TP coming in.
Oh,
Woo, what a shot.
Tough to get those Widow shots too when they're so close.
Absolutely. It's so scary too, because you know if you miss, you can be under a lot of pressure. Finds the Kiri. Good target priority from the Juno. And in comes Visor. And Juno immediately fearful, taking cover. Nice awareness here. Just able to hear where the Visor's coming from. That soldier's behind you now, trying to play for your life, but not quite able to save yourself. That was very good awareness there, although it did cost a life. The fact that you were able to live that long was huge here. In comes the D.Va bomb. Are you going to be able to get much value? Was barely able to get that remake off.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that D.Va bomb was like an offensive or just kind of a remake defensive ultimate there.
But in comes the OC coming in from Raymond. Gonna have to get some value here. I like this Ray. I like this Ray. Can we make use of it? Can we make use of this Ray? And it looks like we will. Taking the pick on the Moira. This is good for us, but down goes Zacher. This is scary now. This is scary. And it looks like Sojourn is going to go down. Actually not actually able to get out, but this is still dangerous because all this time, this fight has been going back and forth. They've had the lead.
Yep. More time that ticks off this clock, Valpo's in a worse position.
So although the fights have been pretty darn close, it leans in the favor of Concordia here. And Zacher back on the coveted Junker Queen, has been getting a lot of mileage off of the Junker Queen here in earlier games that we've seen. So I would really like to see a lot of value here.
I think they are on the front foot in this team fight so far, but that Mei ult is going to find a kill on Ramon.
Honestly, that's fine. Just kill the Mercy, kill the Sig too. Kill the Mercy. The Mercy has to die.
She's won.
Yeah, as long as the Mercy dies, but no, able to use that sympathetic recovery that Mercy has. Mercy has an ability that when she actually has the equivalent of lifesteal, but with healing. So able to use that to keep herself up. This Mercy has to get target focused. Zacher trying to go for it. Nope, now the supports are back. This is scary now. Wasn't able to capitalize on the Mercy being low. And Era J going down to the Coalescence through the team. Again, Coalescence actually pierces through teammates, enemies, and barriers alike. So getting that pressure just beamed down. Going to have to dispel this pressure. You have 18 seconds left. You're going to have to win one. You're going to have to win this fight and probably two more after.
Yep.
And down goes Zacher. That is not good for us. Yep, and looks like Valpo has lost this game
I not
here.
even have someone to touch here, and yep.
Nope, we do not have a touch. And Concordia takes their first round. So it looks like we will be going to a game 4 here.
Yep, Valpo, you know, we'll take a look at the play of the game first. How do you pronounce that? Yuz?
Sure.
Yes. On the Mei. Yeah, it was right at the end here. Finding the 3K.
Yep. That was good from Concordia, able to use that moving point. That's a lot of the things with push is that objective that Valpo has been so good at locking down. That objective's now mobile.
Yep.
So it can be a lot more difficult to lock down. The fights are going to be more frantic. They're going to be less structured, which Valpo has been showing that they've been able to keep one step ahead in the structured fights. But once things get a little more frantic, we saw a little bit of cracks forming. So gonna have to turn that around. What can you do? Where are the adjustments going to be made?
Yep. I think a couple key moments was obviously in the end there, had several close fights, but they weren't able to kind of close it out and lost some precious meters there, but also about the 5-6 minute mark when Valpo had a chance to try and get there before they overtook the lead and just were a second too late get into that. And those like 1 meters like matter so much when they have that lead, and like they were in the stagnant for 3-4 minutes and they know they at some point need to win a team fight and they weren't able. there in game 4. But anyways, any final thoughts on game 3 there?
I think all I can really say is just try to stay together. You guys have shown that you guys have the ability to stay together and have these organized fights. Watch each other's backs, because there were a few times that I saw just because it was so frantic, attentions were being split in so many spots that sometimes people would slip through the gaps. Like that Mercy that was 1 HP that we weren't able to find, or just not noticing that somebody needed help until just barely too late. Keep your guys' cool, stay together. You guys have shown that you can do it. So that's what I want to see coming in this next game.
Still in a really good spot here, up 2-1 in the series in a best of 5, but we will take a short break before we get started.
Hello, and we are getting ready as we.
Misclick happens in game. And out.
Yep, it is all good, but we are getting into the 4th map here. Valpo up 2. Concordia able to take that last game on push. So Valpo still in a comfortable position here, but looking to just end it off. Don't want to go to a game 5.
Yep.
Want to just seal the deal right now. That would be ideal. So
we have a substitution. We got NH Cool Stuff coming back in for Happy Squid here. So going to return to that Juno Lucio support that have been working pretty well in game 1 and game 2.
Yep. I like to see this, especially on Flashpoint.
Yeah.
This is the map, this is the game mode that favors moving fast.
Yeah, and Lucio is just a great character in Flashpoint.
Lucio is a great character for this, paired with Juno, that we've shown to have such an affinity for the Lucio Juno. Oh,
yeah, they are flying right now.
Absolutely. They look at how much sooner they got to this point before the enemy.
And positioning is so important at the beginning of this fight too.
Absolutely, able to take this angle first and finds the early kill in the sim. That's huge. That takes away the threat of a TP repositioning. Finds the Mercy too, as just running down the enemy team. Again, that's what Valpo's team has been showing to be so good at. We want to take these fast engagements, and able to take that gets first control, first cap of this point.
Yeah, I mean, they got the early positioning, got the pick, and won the team fight. I mean, easy peasy.
Yeah, not much else than that. That is exactly what we want to see. Just putting it all on display here. So it looks like Concordia is actually deciding to go under. We'll see how soon Valpo realizes, and there it is. AeroJ saw it and immediately calmed as we see the reposition. That big May wall coming in. Down goes the Junkrat, down goes the Sig, and that's going to be huge pressure on Concordia here. As we see this Lucio little bit of poke here, and Concordia can't really press this now. They just can't really pressure this without their tank, as Raymond is looking for a little bit of an angle here.
Yep, they're going to have one more chance to regroup and contest this point. At 85%.
And down goes Zacher. Got a little too over-eager with trying to stop the touch.
Yeah, it's great to play out front and kind of in that position, prevent the overtime, prevent the touch, but just a little too far and without the team in that
Oh, huge beat comes in.
Timing.
Incredible beat timing. They do cap the point, but that is A-okay as long as this fight gets taken. That's what's important here. And taking down the Moira is a good way to start. I would say you do not need to pop this. Okay, now I would. Looking a little shaky.
Oh, and the Junker finding 2 with his ultimate.
Yeah, I think that Ray there would have been a good play, but able to, it looks like they're going to be able to stabilize here without it. Able to find the shots. L coming in with the May, able to get a lot of value from that.
Yep, and them holding on to those ults, they're going to have them for the next point capture.
Woo! Big Wall! Big Wall actually able to stall the touch, and oh, hi Mercy! Not
and at
much.
that point, they just got to stop the stagger and try and regroup for this next point.
Yep, gotta just take the death. It's more valuable to die there than it is to stagger. Death count. Oh well, sometimes it's just more valuable. So as we see it coming in, you see Zacher taking an upward angle here. Just trying to make sure that we keep track of where they're coming from. I don't mind this. It can be pretty difficult to keep track of where they're coming from, but I believe, yep, they've realized now that they're rotating this side. I would not hate to see a Junker Queen ult here. I think we see a Queen ult and a Ray.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a bit of a choke point here, so definitely going to have an opportunity to pull that off.
In comes the Ray, and in comes the Rampage, getting a ton of value.
Wow. And Zacher is hyped.
There's the Ray, and there's the Queen ult that we talked about. That is exactly what we want to be seeing. And now we're coming up on this Blizzard beat, and looking over at Concordia's ult economy. What do they have? They have a Visor coming up, and they have a Cole. So what we're really going to want to do is try to build this beat as quickly as possible, so then we can have it in response to this Visor. Because this Visor is going to be our lose condition, is how we're going to lose. And in comes the Visor. Gonna have to fear this. Down goes AeroJ. Able to cancel the res. That was really great awareness coming in from NH Cool Stuff. But again, Lucio solo support has the beat. Do you pop it?
10 health and holds on to it. Great discipline there.
Yeah, great discipline. But now has a little bit of a struggle here. People are coming back, and down goes the Lucio. It is only Queen, but now people are coming back. Zacher rotating around to get back with their team. I like that a lot. So now I would say wait for your Lucio to get back. Lucio gets back very quickly, so take this angle. I like this. So now we have a Blizzard and a beat. I like saving this Blizzard. Once you pop this Blizzard, I would expect to hear a tire.
Yep.
So going to be looking for an opportunity here. Honestly, pop Blizzard right on this Ram. Just make the tank not have fun. Determines you don't need it.
Does end up using the Blizzard here. L super low. A lot of members of Valpo super low health, but they're able to
find the res. As we see, just Raymond and L just trying to team up on this Ram, make sure he goes down. And in comes another Rampage. Down goes the Junkrat. In comes the Annihilation, but it is not going to be enough for Concordia. And Valpo goes up 2-0 on this flashpoint. This next point is game point and match point, actually. Because Valpo, again, up 2 games. This next point could end it all here for Concordia's game.
Yeah, Valpo looking really solid on this flashpoint. I mean, we're really seeing, like you talked about in the beginning of this game, their comp is working. Transition phases from point to point, have had control, first and position in all 3 of these points. Unfortunately, it will show up at the same time as Concordia, as they were already rotating while we were still finishing it off.
And we actually see a little bit of a comp swap coming in from Concordia. We see the ult coming in from Valpo. A little bit of an interesting angle here. I don't particularly like how much value we weren't able to quite squeeze out of that, but you know, able to get us the point. It was able to get us some space, so I don't mind it nonetheless. Ooh, that's probably going to be AirJ going down. Yep, managed to find the trap with her feet, but you know, that's a trade. That is a trade. That is good. And another trap. Ooh, fear that visor. Actually see the swap to Kiri coming out from AirJ. I don't mind that swap. A little bit more sustained healing. Uh-oh. Whew, not just barely mistimed that Suzu. That becomes a little bit of a mind game when you have a Junkrat tire there.
I think it's the first time we've seen AirJ not on the Juno in a game this entire season.
I mean, hey, Juno did suffer some nerfs in this most recent balance patch.
Oh.
So able to experiment with some other stuff. Juno not as much of a must pick anymore. Still is very good, but you know, you can start experimenting, and I do like it. AirJ's Kiri has been practiced over time. We've definitely made sure that AirJ is able to use this Kiri. So looking for a Blossom here. Yep, there it is. Finds the Junkrat and finds the Moira. That's going to be huge. Just make sure you cancel this res that they're going to have to look for. And we do. Takes out the Mercy. Just kill her. Yep. And Valpo takes control of the point.
They lose the Orisa ult there. Orisa using ult very, very low. They're looking good here. So, reminder, if they do get this flashpoint, they win the game here. So, we're going to have one more. They got one more chance at a good team fight here, as they're not preparing. They do not have any ultimates.
The ult economy is definitely in Valpo's favor, and that's exactly what we want to see. Sadly, comes at the cost of the Mei, but the ult did come out. Sadly, was able to fortify her way through it. Was the Orisa. But with a lot of this pressure coming in, we do have a beat if so needed. Good pressure from the Lucio, showing that it is support, not healer, able to find kills himself. And that's going to be it. Valpo able to take the win. 3-1 over Concordia Varsity. Incredible, incredible showing. Love to see a little bit of the hero swaps too. Love to see it with Zacker's play of the game here on Queen.
It's going to be the second point here, right at the first cap. Going to have that huge ultimate that finds 2 and a 4K overall.
And a solid finish. Valparaiso Academy going up 2-1.
Yep, and 2-1 on the season too.
Yep, 2-1 on the season.
3-1, yeah.
2-1 on the season. So a good outlook for Valparaiso Academy. I really like that.
Yeah, I know the goal for both of these Overwatch teams is playoffs, and you know, they're on their way with a record above 500.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Any final thoughts on that series? I mean, overall, I just think they looked really good.
I think they looked really good. I really liked the team synergy, being able to play off of each other. I liked these faster comps. I think that's where Valpo Academy is really going to find their strong suits. Able to take these fights quickly. A lot of times we were able to find an early pick and be able to turn that into quickly 1, 2, 3 more.
Yeah, I think they've really found their identity with this team. What kind of characters, comps work together. And they've been playing really well, have improved significantly, substantially, all those words from week 1 until now.
Absolutely. All the big buzzwords, they've done a lot so far, come a long way, and I'm just excited to see where they keep going.
Yep, but schedule for the rest of the week, we got Rocket League tomorrow. Varsity Overwatch will also be playing off stream, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But Friday, Varsity Overwatch will be on stream.
Yeah.
And then yeah, Wes CQ9 is a part of that team.
Absolutely.
Um,
So tune in to watch that.
yep.
Gonna be a spicy one, I think.
And then Saturday, we will be traveling to Manchester University for League of Legends and Super Smash Bros. And that will not be on our stream, but we will be promoting it via social media. So yeah, hope to see you guys the rest of the week. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. My name's Henry Speedy Kill Ninja.
I'm CQ9, and thank you guys for watching.